Hey, good evening, everyone. It's Monday Mindset, episode number 32, and tonight's episode is the secret sauce to what you want. Bit of a follow-on, I guess. I know it's different. It just sounds similar, doesn't it, to last week's episode. I'm going to invite some people on without trying to get my finger in the way of the camera as best as I can. I hope you've all had a great weekend, and I hope last week was fantastic for you as well. So I had my children last week, and great. I love spending time with them, of course. We did loads. Where do you go? Cinema, watch some Incredibles and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Loved that. They enjoyed that. Gotta love some of the Avengers stuff, right? I won't tell you what happens if you're into that. Met up with friends, so went to Wenchford twice. That was pretty cool. So met my friend Becky and her son Ewan. And then Saturday met up with my cousin Karen, her daughter Luna, my good friend Marv and Lisa, and their children Josh and Eli. Took the children over, so they just had loads of fun. There you go. Anyway, that's what I did. I hope you all had a great week. The weather wasn't too bad, really, was it? Because we had a couple of days, I think we had one day of rain, whatever. Not important. I'm just babbling whilst I invite some people on. So as soon as you're in, say hello. Please share the video for this week, and I'm sure you're going to get something from that. I hope you're going to get something from it, even if you don't share it anyway, because you never know, it might help someone else. And it's basically, I was like thinking, oh, what am I going to do tonight? So I thought about where I've got to, and what's the secret sauce for it, and go from there. Who we got? Hi Grace, hi Robert, how you doing? All right. Hi, Mom. Hi, Steve. How you doing, buddy? All right. So, what's the secret sauce? So, I meet, obviously, in my line of work, I meet so many different people, and since doing the Mindset Explosion with the videos and the interviews, it's been fantastic because, get to meet a whole different group of people and part of the mastermind I'm in. So, going over to America, meet another bunch of fantastic people, but more often than not, especially with friends and family, it's real difficult sometimes because they have some great ideas, things they want to do. And I remember being there when I was engineering, I wasn't particularly enjoying it anymore. And it was like, what am I going to do? And then the opportunity came up for, maybe become an instructor and how I was going to learn to do that. And I always talk about my instructor, Stephen, an awful lot because I feel he really encouraged. Not that anyone else did, because they did. This was the encouragement I needed now towards, and he had the tools, the skill set, the tools towards where I wanted to go. So many, I feel I've been privileged, throughout life where I've had such a great, family and friends around me to encourage and support me. And a lot of times I was probably talking myself out of stuff anyway, or wasn't feeling like, I can do this. And that was probably one of the things holding me back. And that's what I noticed with a lot of people. So let's go to the beginning. So maybe you got this great idea, something you want to do, or it's a new thing, a new job, or a life change of some sort that you want to do. And it's just, how do I do it? How do I go about doing it? Now, there's loads of different formulas that you can follow, and they're all pretty simple. And that's probably the best thing. Find one that works for you and go ahead, do it. Cheers, Marv. Thanks for the like. So say it. And it might be you just want to go out on your, start your own business. So the first thing is, look, you're going to feel fearful and you're going to have doubts, and that's really normal because, we're creatures of habit. We like our comfort zone. Maybe when you was at school or family was, you need to get, let's say if we use work as an example, because I never in a million years dreamed I was going to be running my own business, let alone it being a martial arts one. I just do the norm and go to college and find something and become an engineer, and that's what I did, and that's where I was. And for me, it just wasn't for me. Other people, I know it would be for them if they're happy. That's the most important thing. You've got to enjoy whatever you're going to do, or whatever thing you're going to work towards. Whoever you're going to be with, you got to be happy. That's so important. So those doubts and fears, they're absolutely normal, and we can easily talk ourselves out of stuff because we think, well, why would let's say with martial arts, why would someone want to come to me? Why not someone else? Why not, it's easy to get in there and we start talking ourselves out of something before we've even got started. Will I be good enough? But you have to understand, like, even in anything, if we, like professional athletes, they've had to lose so many times for them to become great. Say a fighter has had to lose to become great. That's how we learn. So we have to get over the fear and doubts, and they're still there, but try and work with them rather than against them. So it's like, what's my fear? This could go wrong. Okay, so then try and find a solution for it, or work out the solution and do everything to, solve that problem. So the first bit is you got something that you want to do, and it's now why. Why are you doing this? What is the purpose behind it? Is it just picking something out of the hat, or is it, no, I feel I can really give something here? So I felt with martial arts, for example, that it can benefit a lot of people. I love helping people, and what I found was I was good at teaching it. Didn't have to, I'm not saying I'm the best martial artist in the world. I'm not the worst, but I knew I could coach. I knew I could teach. But my problems was my confidence and my self-belief. So I had to work on that. But because it was something I wanted so much, when it got difficult, when it got hard, I always come back to the why. So the why and your purpose is so important. And the next stage is just to take some action. So you don't have to know it all. It's impossible to know it all at the beginning. And sometimes people want to know it all at the very beginning. They want to, I need that skill set today. It doesn't, for me, it never really worked like that. Everything that I've been doing is I've had to learn on the go. Some stuff, yes, I did know beforehand, but not always the case. So I've had to pick it up as I've gone, because, especially as a business, I had to learn about marketing and Facebook advertising and, how to do this and how to do that, and especially when I took on as business, then like bookkeeping, I didn't do that great at school, so it was difficult for me. And if I can do it, a lot of people I talk to who are a lot more intelligent than me, I'm sure you'll have no problems, working some of these things out. So take action and learn as you go. Something that, I pretty much went ahead and did it. I told friends, family, that's what I was going to do, and I think it was a bit of a worry for some people that I'm going to change from one career into a completely different other one. It meant a massive pay cut as well. So the money wasn't really important. Don't get me wrong, money's important because we need to live. But, I think peace of mind, well-being, that's a big, big factor. So some advice I've kind of heard more recently, and I think is a good one, is that tell your friends and family what you're going to do, and tell them that there is going to be a point where you probably are going to find it quite difficult, and you may even fail. And that's the time when you don't want to hear, "Oh, I told you so." You don't even want to have that. But it's more, that's when I'm going to need that support. There's going to be time when I'm going to struggle with this, and it's going to be difficult. But I need to do this. I need to fulfill what I want to do. And I think if you're upfront about that, but you're not like going to focus on failing, I think that was a good bit of advice that I read more recently. I can't remember where it was. Read so many books. So there's another good tip. Get a pile of books that you're hungry to get through. So I got a stack of books, and I sometimes look at, I need to start this book, but it's good to have it there. It's healthy, because rather than like, what am I going to read now? So have a good book pile. It's real help. Sometimes I might get something just within a chapter or a page, but that one thing can just be that key nugget that you need. So there you go. That was something I haven't written down in my notes, but there you go. So you learn from experience and get ready for some of the rough. Get ready for a bit of a rough ride. Don't expect it. Don't let that put you off, but just prepare it. It's probably going to happen at some point. You might get exhausted. You might feel I hate the word overwhelmed. I think overwhelmed is just where we maybe haven't planned properly. So, there's no one, plan ahead. But I think for me, the most important thing was just getting started. I knew when I got started, I was going to be able to do the teaching side of things. I knew I had to step out my comfort zone. I knew I was going to have certain problems with that, but I also knew the only way was just to go ahead and start doing that. And I think that belief inside of you is very, very important. You've got to believe that, I can do this. And I remember visualizing being able to teach, or visualizing, how I was going to put, things across or whatever. So, that's, again, very, very important. In fact, I think when I was engineering, I'd write down, instructor, and I have it on my computer. So they're little tips to get going. But really the biggest thing was, have that in your head and your heart, but get started and learn on the way. Because what you don't know, you're going to pick it up as you go, and you're going to find something. You're lucky now, it's like we got YouTube. You can find out any how-to video on YouTube, or you can pay someone to teach you as well. So, but if you can't do that at the start stage, well, go on YouTube and do a little short. There'll be some how-to on there, and you'll find some way to do something. Also, I think a good one is that be prepared to take some criticism. So if it's going to a new job, or you are starting a business, or having a bit of a change, be a bit prepared for some criticism. And not in the sense of, oh, I told you that's no good, da, 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 da. It's like, but I mean constructive criticism. Take it on board and be prepared to change. Obviously, get information, get as much information. Don't just go off one thing. You need to kind of hear that, from across the board, because one person's opinion may not always be the right one. So I think it's good to kind of get in different, aspects of that, if that makes sense. Once you go in, it's then really be able to understand that sometimes you've got to change and you've got to be able to adapt. Sometimes you've got to drop some people or block off dream busters because you may have some negativity, and be aware of who you surround yourself. That's who you're going to become very, very easily, even if you think, because we're all influenced one way or another. So it's understanding we got to drop this now, and keep, obviously, circulate with people that have helped you, and seek out mentors that can help you, that are way up here. You want to be chasing for that, because you'll learn so much from them. And I think that's one of the things definitely has helped me, is keeping mentors in my life, not just winging it. It's and going off their advice. And sometimes it's hard to keep up, but it's good. At least I'm chasing something than chasing my own tail, if that makes sense. Time, I think, sorts all things out. So allow time, definitely. Like I said, you're going to, hopefully there isn't rough. With me, there was some difficult times. Some of that was personal as well. So I think that personal kind of didn't come into business. It was more like it affected my mindset maybe at the time. But that's life in general. But in time, I try and see well ahead. So I'm not I was never after the quick fix, or it's going to be done by tomorrow and this is where we're going to be. As most of you aware, I've just moved a location with my academy. So, that the overheads are way up here. So I know it's going to be a little bit fine line at the moment, but I got to stay with it. I believe in my team that I have at the moment, and myself, and I just going to have to, I got to relax a little bit and not get so, if we get that kind of scarcity head, it can affect us, if that makes sense. So marathon shoes, not my sprinting shoes, trying to keep my marathon shoes on as best as I can. So don't get too greedy is what I'm saying. Is you can't have it all tomorrow. You can't have it all today. Great if it happens. I hear some great success stories where, they end up launching out, and they, in whatever they're going to do, and before you know it, it's going wicked. So for me, it's wow, cool. You can keep going, keep that momentum going. And understand, it's sometimes people, talking to a friend today, and she wants to write a book. So she was a bit concerned, with people want to read it. So I get that. I don't know. I don't have hundreds of viewers or millions of viewers with my mindset stuff, so I get that, but it doesn't matter. Who cares? Whoever's watching now, you're watching it, so thank you very much. I appreciate it, and appreciate when you guys share. But not everyone is going to be into it. It doesn't matter, if it's something along those lines. So don't worry about what people don't want. There's always a message for someone, or there's going to be something there for someone that you can that is really going to relate to it, because we do want to. Let's face it, some great advice, this couple of years was, I want to attract and repel people. I don't want everyone in my life, because in a way that's greedy. Do I want everyone to come to my martial arts academy? No, not really, because it may not be right for them, and then I can't provide what they want and need. So, and the same within life. Do you want a thug in your life? Do you want someone that's going to run you down in your life? No. So you got to repel those ways. So don't worry about that too much. It's attract and repel, and I think that's a good thing to have in my head. It's don't need to be greedy. Don't need everybody. Don't need everyone in your life. It's too much to manage for one. So that's pretty much it. I hope that's helped. For those, thank you for watching, by the way. And it's your life. It's your journey. Enjoy it, and look back and think, wow, that was so cool. And, even if it's difficult or it's hard or it didn't work out, because you'll get something from it. We're about to take on a new staff member next month. And I know this person's possibly going to go off to another career at some time, because that's, it's not necessarily what they've trained in, but I know they're going to get so much from working with. I hope so. That's the whole point, is that we help each other, we work together, and they're going to get so much from it. Secretly, I hope they stay, of course, but we're all upfront about stuff. when you're getting started. So bring people with you, and thank them for the journey all the way there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've got something from it, and even if you have or you haven't, please share the video, because I'm sure somebody will, because we attract and repel, of course. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next week for episode number 33. Peace.